Welcome to Work from the Inside Out, a podcast that highlights real-life stories, practical strategies, and best practices for transitioning your career from unhappiness and dissatisfaction to fulfillment, meaning, and joy. Now here is your host, career and executive coach, Tammy Guler-Loeb.
Hey, everybody. I am so delighted to introduce you to my guest today, Randah Taher. Randah is a master design and innovation facilitator with a playful sandbox. In it, there are toys that design, cultures of innovation, creative problem-solving processes, biomimic analogies, service and design thinking systems, edutainment games, and creativity tools. A TEDx and keynote speaker, Randah is a thought leader on creative thinking and a curator of the subscription box Imaginative by Sajori. You can find more about her work on www.sajori.com. Now, before Randah joins us, I want to tell you that she and I decided to do things a little differently today. While I will be interviewing her, I'm also going to put my coach hat on a little bit. And we're going to kind of interview and coach. We're going to do a few different things in this episode. So listen closely and enjoy. So welcome, Randah.
Thank you, Tammy. Thank you. It's a pleasure to be here with you.
Oh, it's a thrill. And thank you so much for joining us across the world. You live in Dubai.
I do, yes.
Wow.
It's sunny here.
Oh, well, it's sunny.
And it's wintry there.
It's sunny here too, but there are many inches of snow on the ground too. But I know that you're from Canada. You know what snow is. So
yes. Absolutely, yes.
So tell us who are you? What are you up to these days? And as you know, this is a podcast about transitions. I know you've made many transitions, but I know that you want to kind of tell your story in your way. And so we talked about you starting with what's happening right now.
Yes, perfect. So I'll tell you what's happening right now, and then you tell me if I am doing enough or not doing enough. And then we'll see. And then we'll see.
All right.
So I have a consultancy. It's called Sajori, and I focus on cultures of innovation in organizations. So I help organizations nurture this culture. I find that it was the best method to start from because I did training before. And when you train people to become more innovative, but then they don't have the support system or they have very high bureaucracy levels and the processes is very rigid, then the training goes away. And if you try to come up with something innovative and then the people have a very stuck mind, not a growth mindset,
right.
So then you're not really innovating, right? So, but if you focus on the culture, which is the basic, the foundation of it, if the culture fits, then the people will become more innovative, your processes will become more agile, your products and services will be almost perfect. So that's the main platform that I think of. And in it, I facilitate sessions. I facilitate problem-solving sessions with organizations. That's one of the things that I do, and I am hired for. I also offer innovation programs for intrapreneurs. So those people, those creative minds who are working inside any big organizations who like to do things differently. So I give them the tools and help them with that. I am starting to put together, before I start, so I'm also running a subscription box.
So, yes, I saw that on your website. I want you to talk about that.
Yes. So this box came out of my work with the programs with people after the end of the program. They would, some people will come and tell me, how do I continue to stay inspired after we complete this program. And so it started with a simple toolbox. I give them, a physical toolbox, different toys, desk toys to use, ideation tools that they keep on their desk, any posters that I find inspiring. And so this became requested more than my program. So it became a curated monthly box, and with different themes, all of them fit within the creative thinking arena, if you want to say.
Yeah.
So that's something that I'm currently doing.
Now, is that a monthly thing, the box?
Yes, it's a monthly thing. Yes. And what I want to start to do are, because I'm doing these innovation programs for organizations, so I'm hired by the organization.
Right.
And sometimes individuals want to have this program. And so I am putting together, hopefully by the end of this year or beginning of next year, an online course. So for those who want to take this program on their own, so that's something that's been cooking. I am currently putting together monthly webinars just for different ideation tools or decision-making tools for people who want to, up their skill in this field. And being part of so many different networks and groups, I got involved with the authors group, and I put a draft for a book that I want to write on, and it stopped because of all the things that's happening. I put it on pause, but it's something that I would like to get back onto. So these are the things that I'm currently using my brain cells for. Right? Short and long term.
And we know that you also have a family. So we know
I
that you're doing all of this, and you have another full-time job.
I do. After yes.
Yeah. I'm curious. Well, I'm curious about a few things. So you've mentioned several times, with this program, you kept talking about this program. What do you mean by this program? What are you referring to specifically? Because it sounds like as a facilitator and as a consultant, you can go into an organization, and with your training background, it sounds like you can go into an organization and probably do any number of things.
Yes.
So what is this? Is this program a specific curriculum that you've designed? Is it a training program? Is it a consultancy? What is it? Tell us a little more about it.
So just to attach it to the facilitation one, I do go to organization like as a consultant, and I facilitate the whole process from them telling me we have a problem to them saying we found a solution through the process, right? So I do this for them, but then in this innovation program, I train their people to do it.
So is it a specific process that you bring, like a step-by-step kind of process?
Yes.
That you've developed, or is it a combination of things?
Oh. Yes.
Okay.
Yes, it is a combination.
I'm not asking you to give away secrets. I just
No. I don't have secrets. It's
good.
It's all out there.
Then tell us everything.
So I work with 4 innovation processes heavily, right? So one is called the creative problem solving method, and that comes from my Master's of Science degree in creativity, innovation, and change leadership from SUNY in New York, in Buffalo.
SUNY Buffalo, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. So I studied this method in my master's degree, and I use it in solving organizational problems, right? So this is one method that I use and teach. The other one is the biomimicry, and that's another method that is using nature's strategy and designs and the way that they solve problems. When I say they, I'm talking about animals, plants, earth, everything that's in nature. And then we transfer those strategies into business settings. So how can I learn from any part of nature, any process or design, and how can I implement it in my current work? So again, I use that.
I've never heard of biomimicry before, I'll be honest. And I thought
very cool one.
Yeah. And so I'm curious, I want to hear about the other two that you're going to mention, but I'm curious just to take a pause and learn a little bit about biomimicry, and also if there are any resources where our audience can even read up on it a little bit, like if there's a book or a website or something that we can put in the show notes so that people can learn more about it.
Definitely. I can send you links of people
Great.
who are
that would be perfect. And then excellent.
And I can also send you my TEDx talk, which was on biomimicry.
Oh, excellent. Yeah. Excellent.
So,
wonderful.
So these are two things that you can instantly have. And if you search it, you will find loads of information and examples from all over the world. So this is
okay. Yeah. So biomimicry, how did you hear about it or learn about it? It sounds
magical.
Yeah, it sounds magical and exotic.
It is. I started using it 10 years ago while I was doing my master's degree. I started learning the different creativity methods. So creative problem solving was taught by my university in my university curriculum. Biomimicry and design thinking, I was doing them on my own. So I was very curious about these methods. I was learning and I was applying it immediately in workshops, in different business settings that I was doing. At that time, I was still living in Toronto. So I had a number of experiences in that. And the third method, which is design thinking, so I used it on my own. It was self-taught mainly, but the more I used it, the more doors it opened for me. For example, one of the doors that was a major leapfrog for my career is I moved from Toronto to the United Arab Emirates, to a city called Sharjah, and to University of Sharjah, where I was teaching architecture engineering students the design process. How do they think about design using my background in design thinking? So I wasn't saying, okay, I'm going to do design thinking with you. I was saying, I'm going to tell you how to come up with designs. And I was using the same method. And I was, using the tools that are in that method. So this is how this tool or this method helped me transfer my knowledge from something I was doing. I was running a leadership program in Toronto to something completely different, teaching at university level architecture engineering. And I'm not an architect and I'm not an engineer. So that's your career transition, Tammy.
There you go. That's a big one. So talking about career transition, you were running a leadership program, I think you said in Toronto.
Yes.
And then you moved to the United Arab Emirates, into a city that I haven't heard of before. You mentioned it.
It's right next door, next to Dubai. Dubai is the one that's known worldwide, but Sharjah is a big city.
Sharjah.
Yes.
I'm always trying to learn to say things properly. Sharjah. I don't know. Whenever I think of Dubai, I think of the videos I've seen of people doing indoor downhill skiing. So
that's one of the things that they do. Yes, they do a lot.
I just thought that was so cool. So anyway, somehow along the way, you managed to get an opportunity to teach at the university to engineering and architecture students. Is that correct?
Yes. And so it was a new field for me.
A new field for you, but somewhere you must have had some kind of connection or something where they were interested in having you come teach, or
they were interested in my background in leadership development. So I was teaching courses in design leadership. They really like the design thinking background or experience that I was building, because that's what you do in designing. Like, it just happened that, they're designing buildings. It could be designing programs. It could be designing products.
Right.
So I reverse engineered it, right?
Exactly. So it sounds like a dramatic shift, but in fact, when you're teaching design thinking, it's actually makes a ton of sense if you're talking to engineers and architects, right?
Yes, it
Yeah.
is a dramatic shift. I was
Okay.
I was the only non-engineer in that faculty, right? I was the
Wow.
only non-architect. So I was a misfit. Like wherever I go. Wherever I go, I just don't fit in easily. And I'm okay with that. I actually enjoy that. This is why the innovation programs that I am working, like the people that I'm working with are intrapreneurs with an I, not with an E.
No, I
So
got
these
that.
yeah.
I hope our listeners got that when you said earlier about developing innovation sessions for intrapreneurs. And
Yes.
one of my other podcast guests, Nelson McMillan,
Mhm.
is specializing in intrapreneurs and entrepreneurship.
Nice.
So hopefully they'll be familiar with that notion, that idea. So yes, it's really about that kind of entrepreneurial, innovative thinking and approach from working within a company or organization.
Yes,
Right?
definitely. These program, I mean, they didn't come out of nothing. One of the transitions, like the career transitions that I did, was that leadership program that I was doing in Toronto. It was run by United Way Toronto, right? And they wanted they wanted a youth leadership program, for young people working in the nonprofit sector in Toronto, and they wanted something completely different than what they already have, and they had a lot. So putting things completely upside down, this is my specialty. I just build it from bottom up approach rather than preparing everything and then offering it to the world. I actually brought in the world to help me put it together, and using all these creativity tools that I was learning in school then, and that program was like instant success. So we had more people than we could imagine sign up for it before we even opened the doors. We had more funders coming to support it, more partners who were interested in being a part of it, like the University of Toronto School of Social Work, for example. So it was a really good, it was a big breakthrough, right? So, and I'm very proud of this program, of my team, and how did it end up. And this is how I'm trying to live my life, wherever I go, that you don't have to do exactly like what everyone else is doing. If you trust your process, and you don't know the results, it will work the way that you think. Sometimes they might work really well. Other times they might just surprise you. You learn and you move on.
Right. So, but here's the key. Here's a couple of key ingredients that I'm hearing. You have some frameworks, you have some processes and some approaches to problem solving, innovation, thinking models that can apply in a variety of not just different sectors, but different industries. And you don't have to know all the ins and outs. You can trust. This is actually how I approach things as a coach. I can't know the ins and outs of every industry, of everybody I work with. So you're really partnering with the
Yes.
people you're working with. They have to fill in the blanks. It's really a blending between you're bringing the structure and the framework, and then they can be filling in the blanks. And between the two of you, you can create a pathway for improvement, for creativity, for innovation, for better results, or for new kinds of results. I also want to just mention to you that I too am doing some very interesting work with the United Way here in Massachusetts. And so at some point, maybe we'll share some notes on that. But I'm very intrigued to hear more about what you were doing there, because, when you first mentioned a leadership program, and this is what we do sometimes, right? I automatically assumed that you were doing a corporate leadership program. And when you mention United Way, and you mention different funders and partners and people who took an interest in this, and how you brought that to the nonprofit, as if nonprofits and corporations are so dramatically different. People think they're dramatically different. they are in certain ways. And in other ways, it's just people in the workplace trying to get something done. Different pay rates for sure, but there are some differences, but it's intriguing to hear about the vast array of places where you've taken your sandbox, so to speak, and brought your toys and your tools, right? And a willingness to step into some unknowns. And yet and again, please correct me, I'm assuming that there is a part of you that feels like, look, I don't know the details and the content, but I know that I have things here that work for people.
Yes.
And it's going to be up to them to make it work. It's not up to me to make it work, really.
Absolutely.
But it is.
I can't convince you to change your mind on anything. If you are fixed in the way that you're doing and you don't want to see things from a different angle, I can't and won't try to convince you to try something different. So absolutely, you're right.
So has there been a time when you've brought this to, let's say, a client organization and it just didn't go as you expected it to? And I'm not saying that was good or bad, but it just didn't go as you expected it would have.
Yes, plenty of times, because I have these ideas that break their systems all the time. Like they don't fit in their, rule books, right? So I'm breaking a rule, even an unknown rule. I would do something and they say, "Oh, we don't do this way." Why not?
Right.
Because you need because it was very new. People didn't know what to do with it.
Right.
So I had a lot of hiccups. I say there are hiccups in every business that I worked with. Right?
Sure.
In every career that I was in, in every job, I had someone telling me, you cannot do it this way.
Right. And sometimes it's because it's new to them and people don't like things that are unknown. I would imagine there may also be times when maybe there's a detail, something regulatory that, or something, of a scientific nature or whatever, that, where you just don't have the knowledge to know that something isn't going to work a certain way because it's going to explode or something. You know?
Yeah, I haven't, I hadn't had the privilege to work with that. I would love to, but not just yet. Yeah. But then, yes, people are usually afraid from the unknown. I think I developed a thick skin for, to live with ambiguity. I enjoy it. And I think it's a skill. You learn it. Like you learn how to think in different ways. You learn how to have these processes or how to follow different ways. Yeah? It's all a skill. Even here's a scientific fact that in the brain, when it develops, even in the fetus, right? So before you're even born, your right side brain, which is usually connected with ideas and intuition and creativity, it develops faster than your rational left side brain and the logical one. So the geniuses actually are not different than us. They just able to balance, play and work at the same time. While we and the education system forces us to think, slightly to the to the side of your brain only, it actually harms us more than helps us. So you need to push back and say, okay, how can I play with it? How can I, stretch this idea? How can I make it bigger? How can I make it smaller? How can I, cut it to pieces, combine it with something else, and then work with that new thing? And be ready to experiment, be ready for things to work your way and for things to not work your way.
So that it sounds like part of what you do, or a big part of what you do, is to try to help people further develop that part of their brain to be more flexible and be more creative.
Yeah, I hope so. This is what I'm trying to put for the webinar and the online course, that I am going after that.
Yeah. So in terms of your work currently, are you working with companies right there in Dubai, or are you working remotely with companies? What does that look like?
So most of the people most of the organizations that I am currently working with are government agencies in the UAE, whether it is in Dubai or Abu Dhabi. So, for example, in Abu Dhabi, I worked with the Urban Planning Council. So those are the people who are in charge of, organizing the city. In Dubai, I worked on a project with the executive council in the government of Dubai. So these are people who planned the big programs that Dubai is known for. So the big innovation programs, or the big, the different processes and products that they are coming up with, they are known for. It starts with this executive council. So I facilitated one of the creative labs with them. So most of the organizations that I work with are government entities, but back in Canada and even in some parts of the US, I am working with small to medium-sized companies.
Okay.
And hopefully those online programs will be used there most, because it will be easier than to bring me every time they want this program.
Right. And so you've been thinking creatively about how to reach more people and meet their needs. And so you're in the process of developing the online course and a webinar that you can then offer to people. Is that right?
Yes.
Right.
Yes.
So now that will be different for them, because they'll have to adapt that to their own needs, versus if they hire you as a consultant, you're going to bring something that's a little more customized to them.
Yes.
Right.
And more fun.
And more fun.
Yes.
Absolutely. So what would you say is, it just sounds like everything you're doing, it there's this question in my mind, like, how does she make this all happen? And she makes it sound like it just happens, like it's just magical. And I'm sure that that's not true, but tell us a little more about how you do get from one thing to the next. And what are you finding is your biggest challenge of late? Because everything looks really great from where, I'm looking through rose-colored glasses right now as I'm listening to you, and I'm thinking,
I'm wearing rosy clothes, you see?
You are wearing rosy clothes. So I'm thinking, okay, so this sounds like everything she just steps into turns to gold. And it sounds really interesting, exciting. And this is the thing about what I'm trying to do with the podcast is to show people that there are ways to make things happen in your life that will lead you to things that are satisfying, rewarding, and meaningful. Yes. And there are ups and downs along the way. I'm curious to know how you've made these things happen. And, because you have moved from, your home in Canada, across the world to a whole new part of the world. And clearly you're thriving beautifully. At least that's how it looks to me. So tell us how that works for you, what goes well, and maybe something that you need a little help with.
Yes, I'll tell you. So what has helped me a lot is understanding how do I think. So, and understanding the process that I work with, but also understanding my mind, what I am really good in and what I'm not good in when it comes to solving a problem. And so these are the different assessments that you take. And even one of them I'm certified in is for thinking assessment, right? So once I realize, okay, I am really good with coming up with ideas. They come easily for me. And I'm good in making things happen. I'm always, actionable. I am not that good in creating systems and processes that work flawlessly and almost automatically, right? So things that start, like if I have an idea and I develop it and then I work with it, it flows, right? So you see me, do a lot of things, but then in an efficient way. I'm usually against efficiency somehow. So that's a challenge that I'm constantly struggling with. And actually, this is a challenge that I'm bringing for you. So all the things that I am doing that I told you about, and things that I didn't tell you about, because they're still small and
Right.
unnoticeable. So how can I create simple systems that help me run things, some of it automatically and some of it even getting help? But because everything that I do has its own process in my head, and I know how it gets done. And then because I'm always experimenting, so I'm always changing this process. But then if I really want to grow, and if I really want to expand it or go to the next level, I need to have more than just the basic systems that I have. It needs to be a little, they need to connect together, not each one on its own. That's a challenge that other people are amazingly good in. They claim not to be creative, and I think they're absolutely creative in figuring out how to make things extremely organized that you instantly know what to do when. Right. So it's understanding people's creativity as well. Like, how do they think about a problem? It's not because you cannot say I am not creative because you don't easily come up with ideas. You are creative in a different way, and you have a different way of learning. So some people are visual, other people are auditory. I am a kinesthetic. I need to keep moving, and I make sure everyone else is moving with me. Yes. So what is your best way? And then rather than try to always improve what you're not good at, I would say double down on your strength. So if that's what you are really good at, own it. Say you are really creative in this part, and then make sure that everything you do more of this than of the other things that you are, you're not very energized.
Right. So a couple of things. When you first started talking about this, I'm thinking, so it sounds to me like, there are people who are sort of big thinkers, big idea people. And then there are people who are detail people. Some people have both. Those people are blessed with both. That's great. Most of us are not. And it sounds like you may be more on the side of the big idea person. And when it comes to the details, not only may you not be as good at them, you may not really care about them. Like, you don't really care how you get from point A to point B. You just want to make sure you get there because when you get there, this is really going to be great.
I think so.
Okay. So that's one thing that occurred to me as you were talking. And you were talking about systems and processes and how it sounds like you do have some systems and processes, but that they're somewhat siloed or segmented in certain areas, but they're not integrated.
Yes, it's exactly the problem.
And so you're telling yourself, maybe correctly, maybe not, I'm not sure yet, that in order to work more efficiently, if that's your goal here, and I'm not sure if that's your goal, to work more efficiently or to feel a little less maybe scattered or spread out or stretched, that if systems were integrated, that you would feel how? What would that give you?
I think I would be able to fly higher. I think I want to get rid of thinking about all these details that take the energy out of me. And once this is done, once this system is in place, and I want to keep it simple, so in order to modify it as much as I need, and then once that is done, I'm able to continue what I'm doing, and even I'm sure I'll find something else.
Well, let's not get ahead of ourselves, right?
Yes.
So when you say, then I'll be able to fly higher, what will that look like?
I think the programs I do can be, perfected even better with results, with measured results, follow-ups and all that. The facilitation that I do, I can offer it in different ways. Because if I am doing a program, I cannot market for for my program. Even if I get extra help, and I do. Most of my programs, it's run by teams, not only me. But then those teams really follow what I tell them to do. If I have it in a process, like in a very clear process, then other people can immediately see it. I don't need to be, involved.
You don't need to be as hands-on.
Yes.
I see. So flying higher looks like a couple of things. It's going to give you more bandwidth to reach more people with some things you already have in place, it sounds like.
Yes.
Right? So you can increase your reach. You can, I'm guessing, to further or deepen some of the work you're already doing, further develop your online course and your webinar.
Yes.
Perhaps even start to dig back into the book that you've been writing.
Absolutely.
So what I'm hearing is that you need your energy to be freed up, but not just freed up, focused in a few key areas.
Yes.
That's what I'm hearing. And so there's a lot of sort of systems and particles and muck, as I'd like to call it, because I'm not a big detail person myself. And I have to say, and tell me if you think I'm right, it sounds like what you need, you already know what needs to happen here, but it's not your strength to make it happen. Yet it doesn't sound like it's a particularly mysterious thing to get done. It does sound like it would require some outside help to get it in place. And then once it's in place, you might even want somebody on your team to help you kind of run it.
Yes.
With some oversight, but that this integration, that part, somebody needs to put something in place to make that happen. You may need some recommendations around who might be able to help you put that in.
I do have this outside help to help me in each program by itself, right? But then to put them all together, I don't know. I am assuming, and I could be wrong, that I need to think about it. I need to think what can be integrated and what cannot be. Like it's on its own. So a subscription box is a physical thing.
Yeah.
It's not what I do online. So some of the things, they don't fit, but some things fit, because if I am, part of what I put in this box is a curated item.
Yeah.
Some of the items I actually bring to my facilitation session.
Yeah.
So in a way, when I buy it for the facilitation session, I could buy it also for the box if I have an integrated system that says, okay, this fits in this types of thinking, so put it in this month or so and so. So there are some things that you need to look at it from, a 10,000 feet point of view, but then I can do it like simultaneously while I am running it.
Exactly. So that's why you need a thinking partner who can really help you operationalize that and put something in place that can help you to put something, at least something to try.
Yeah.
There's got to be something. What you're saying to me is there's got to be something better than what I have now.
Oh, yeah.
And so my hunch is that you may know somebody already who can at least start to help you think it through. I have a feeling that right now there was a little hint in there of you saying something like, I'm the only one who knows how it all needs to fit. And, no one else could possibly understand.
No, everyone could.
Oh, okay.
Everyone could understand, but I'm the only one who's involved in everything that I just said.
So then somebody else needs to understand, or someone else needs to partner with you to be involved.
How would you describe that other person? Like, what is this person like?
Kind of, well, it could be a couple of things. It could be somebody who is, really like a real good operations admin type person. So it could be somebody that you just hire who's got sort of a good eye for operations and systems and organizational skills.
Mm-hmm.
Or if you wanted to put something more, sort of automated in some way, you might want to talk to somebody who has, the technical skills or the understanding around. I don't know if it would be like a supply chain kind of thinking. I'm not sure that it really is, but it seems to me it's more someone who has a sophisticated enough sense of operations. And yet, I don't think it's somebody you need for a lot of hours. So it could be, it occurs to me that somebody I would imagine you could get some good names through our recognized expert cohort.
Yeah, I think finding the person, once I know what exactly I am looking for, because it's still very fuzzy in my head.
No. Here's where the coach hat comes on, although it was already on. It's like saying, well, I'm not going to get married until I have enough money for a down payment on a house. Okay. So you're saying, well, until I know everything I need, I'm not going to talk to someone. Well, what if you were to talk to someone and, make a good comprehensive list of all the things, like maybe over the next couple of weeks, notice what are the things that are draining you? Maybe some of the things you didn't even know were draining you. What are the things that are draining you, or just feeling like you're getting, your drain is getting clogged, so to speak, right? Yes. Notice those things, write them down. Then get a few names of people and say, here are the things that I'm kind of grappling with and need some help with, and see what kind of ideas, see if are they looking at you cross-eyed when you talk about those things? Are they glazing over? Or are they saying, oh, are you kidding? I could handle that with my eyes closed and my hands tied behind my back. Because there are people who can.
Yes.
And there are people who would love to help you, who would be delighted to work with you.
So.
Oh, I know so. I know so. Really, I don't say that lightly because I'm not always that sure of myself. But I do think that you don't have to know it all.
Okay.
This is really important. And of all people, this is what's really funny. Think about it. How often do you walk into a situation where there's ambiguity and you go in with your toolbox and your toolkit and you don't know half of what you're walking into?
Yes.
And you bring a program in there and you work with it. And here you are saying, well, I have to know everything, before I talk to someone. So
isn't it funny?
Yeah, isn't it funny how we turn the tables on ourselves?
Yeah.
And this really ties beautifully back into the whole notion of people making some kind of transition. And for you, this is a transition to, and I know you already have a team and some help. So it's not like you're not one of these people who won't take help, which is great.
Yeah.
But it is one of those things where we sometimes get so inside our own heads with something that we really there's like a lock on the door to our head. And if we just open the door even a crack, we'll start to come up with some interesting ways of approaching it. And I feel almost a little funny saying this to you because I know that you teach this to people and that you know how to open the door all the way.
I do.
Right?
I know how to open your doors, but I put so many locks in my head because it's just fun. It's a puzzle, right? It's fun to do.
It's fun to do sometimes, but sometimes when we do it to ourselves, we trap ourselves or we put ourselves in kind of a stuck place and we don't always know how to get out of it. This is why I'm doing this podcast, because there are a lot of people out there who are feeling stuck or trapped in a job or in a career or in a situation where they would like something else or they'd like something new.
And I love that. I love how this podcast is put together. I have something actually for you. I did put together little, I don't know what you call it. It's like a gift, a report, or some ideas, 15 different ways for you to have an imaginative day at work. So
Excellent.
to unstuck you, get you
Thank
out of
you.
your thing. So yes, it's on the website. If you go and you just add your email, you will get it instantly.
Excellent.
And you will see some of the ideas. Actually, all the ideas that are there, I've used in my life.
Yeah.
These are personal ideas. Some I borrowed from other people,
Sure.
but these are things that I've actually used, and I reached, or I gained a new idea, new insight, or even a new career shift from using them.
So we will include a link to the place where people can go to sign up for that and get that free gift. Thank you. That's very generous of you to offer a gift. And I am so grateful. Do you feel complete for now with the next steps in terms of your?
I know what I need to do next.
Yes.
Right. So
okay.
I have an idea of where, and I did start writing the things that I'm always writing a list of things that I can give to a virtual assistant or someone else who's helping me. But now I need to put a bigger list, right? Bigger meat, if you want to say, and maybe put a complete system out of my way, right? So something that it's annoying me. So I think I have an idea.
As you're putting that together, always keeping in mind, for the sake of what is your why? Your why is that you want to go to a bigger place. Right?
Yeah, my why is I really want everyone around me to find their creativity, to find their original creativity, the one that they were born with, but for some reason they buried. That's my why. That's what I do every day.
Yeah, I love it. Well, Randah, thank you so much for your time today. This was really fun. It was fun to mix it up and do this a little differently.
Mix it up.
And listen, folks, you're going to learn so much more about Randah and her work by looking at the show notes. There will be tons of resources there, I'm sure of it. And thanks for listening today. And go out there and do something creative.
Yes, go do that.
I hope you enjoyed my interview with Randah Taher. It was so much fun to speak with her and learn about her professional and personal journey, along with the important insights that she has developed in her career. What is your key takeaway from our conversation? Is there something you'll put into action this week that you'll benefit from for years to come? Share what resonated with you in the show notes at workfromtheinsideout.com. That's also where you'll find all the links and resources from today's podcast. Are you thinking about what's next for you? Ready to consider your options or begin a process of exploration to get the clarity, energy, and plans you need to move forward? I am piloting a small group for 4 to 6 professional women who are curious, willing, and ready to engage in a 3-month program that offers the information, inspiration, and support you need to get where you are going next. We will begin in June 2019 as summer provides an easy time for reflection and the opportunity to look towards the future. By September, you will be refreshed and ready to take on new endeavors. Interested? Questions? Contact me through my website or via email, and we will schedule a conversation to explore the possibilities. If you enjoyed this episode with Randah, please share it with your friends and colleagues, and don't forget to subscribe so you don't miss next week's show. Remember, subscribing is always free. Are you enjoying the podcast? I'd love to read your review on Apple Podcasts. It's easy to find my page at tammygulerloeb.com/Apple. Thanks for listening. And remember, it's never too late or too impossible to increase your sense of fulfillment and satisfaction in your work and other meaningful activities. Let me know how it's going for you. And who knows, maybe you'll be my next interview on this podcast. Bye for now.
Thank you for listening to the Work from the Inside Out podcast. For more information, you can find us at www.workfromtheinsideout.com.